My name is Roy Horan. Welcome to this short introductory video. If you're like most people, you've probably spent a good portion of your life searching for happiness in one form or another: career, relationships, health, and so on. We have the belief that we can find satisfaction in our lives and in the world around us. However, because life is an up and down affair, a lot of times it's not all that simple, and we may be questioning why we're here in the first place. Is there an answer to this? Obviously, a lot of people think there is, otherwise the personal development industry wouldn't be $42 billion a year. So we have also religious organizations and spiritual paths that have been offering solutions for centuries. Is there a commonality in all of this? Some people believe that it's the golden rule: to learn to treat others the way we would like to be treated, that's the source of happiness. I've spent most of my life in search of an understanding of the nature of reality. And I've done it in many, many different ways, through experiences and reading and study and so on. But after many, many years, I began to realize that the truth I was seeking was actually looking for me. I just wasn't paying attention. That light of recognition is within all of us, all the time, every single moment of our lives. But because we're very focused or distracted on life's drama, we don't normally become aware of this subtle truth, of this subtle light within us. 30 years ago, I experienced what's called a Kundalini awakening. So Kundalini, probably the best, simplest way to describe it, is like jump-starting a battery that had been sleeping under the hood for decades. Kundalini is actually a spiritual energy, and it has one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to wake us up to what lies beyond the mind, to help us recognize who we are and why we're here. What is, I guess you could say, the purpose of our life, moment by moment. Because of this experience, I woke up. I really woke up, and it has changed my life. A number of years ago, I was working in Hong Kong on a project with special learning needs kids. I was helping them with the development of self-awareness and social emotional competence. And my youngest daughter took an interest in this course, and one day she asked me a really, really strange question. She said, "Dad, how far can you take this program?" I understood what she was actually asking. What she was actually asking was, "Dad, is it possible for young children to become fully self-realized through the program?" I thought, wow, that's a tall order. I didn't even think it was possible. I mean, self-realization is something that's usually experienced by older people that have a lot of life experience, not young children. So I said, I really don't have any idea. And she said, well, why don't you ask this great Indian saint and yoga master who passed away about 60 years ago. Why him? Well, because he had something to do with my Kundalini awakening. We had a connection. So I figured, oh, well, what the hell? I'll try it. So that night before going to bed, I asked him if he could help me out with this particular question. And I thought, well, at most, maybe I'll get a cryptic answer or perhaps a vivid dream. But down deep, I thought, well, Roy, this is kind of a long shot. I'd never done that before. So what happened was suddenly I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning in the middle of a massive brainstorm. And in this brainstorm, all my life's knowledge and experience was coalescing, was coming together. And it came together in a very simple diagram, a geometric diagram with profound consequences. And as I looked at it, I began to realize that this diagram was a way to explain all human experience. From brushing your teeth in the morning, to trying to remember where you left your keys, to the most noble human ventures, to the most despicable actions that human beings force on one another. Horrible stuff. Stuff that even the sentence of life without parole would seem like a blessing to such people. So from the highest to the lowest, so to speak, of human behavior was all explained in this simple diagram. I thought, wow. So I realized that it was giving me an insight into everything that human beings think, imagine, do, say, and so forth. And I thought, wow, that's pretty amazing. But then it went further than that. At the same time, it was a map for discovering who you really are beyond the confines of your mind and the incessant search for satisfaction and meaning. It illustrates the power of universal love as well as the origins of your mind. In short, I realized that the insight was an act of compassion by this great being that had to be passed on to others. Having an intellectual understanding of such things is useful for reflection, but in my experience, without practice, you can't fully embody it. For example, if one of your friends were to describe to you the taste of an Indian mango, you might have tasted mangoes before, but they're trying to tell you that Indian mangoes are really, really incredibly different. And so no matter how much they write or how much they speak for half an hour on it, you're not going to understand the taste of an Indian mango unless you find one and take a bite of it. All right? So I've decided to share this insight with you as a series of short videos, and perhaps in the future through some workshops. My hope is that it will make your life better and bring you closer to the ocean of love and wisdom and bliss that resides within you. So stay tuned. If you want to find out more about me, you can probably find me on Facebook. You can also find me on Instagram, the Bliss Dude, one word, imagine that. Although I've only just started up on Instagram not long ago. And also through a website called roy-horan.com, which is the website of a book that I wrote called Vigilance of the Heart. Some of the material within that book will be presented in this program. So thank you very much for watching, and have a beautiful day or beautiful evening. Namaste.